Hi there, welcome back to the DutchRC channel. Thank you for watching. And what do I have this time? It is not an unboxing, as you can see, it's already unboxed. This is the HiSky HMX280. And well, obviously it is a quadcopter. Well, when I ordered it, I thought it was a very good looking quadcopter, and now, having seen it for real now, I can tell you it's a very good looking quadcopter. I love its looks. It looks very, well, what does it look like? Alien-like, I think. Okay, so it comes with brushless motors, at least if you buy the RTF version, which I have. So brushless motors with self-locking nuts, that's very convenient of course. It has a hobby-grade CC3D flight controller in it. Obviously there are 4 speed controllers in it. And it actually also comes with a LiPo. Once again, if you buy the RTF version, you can order them with or without a transmitter, with or without a LiPo, whatever you want. I think you can also buy the frame itself with the motors. There are several packages available for you. So the LiPo I got with it is a 1350 mAh 3S25C LiPo, and as you can see, it slots conveniently into the frame. It has a GST connector and a balance plug, and of course the copter itself also has a GST connector. And let me actually plug it in so you can see all its LEDs. And the wire stuck neatly into this hatch. Now, as you can see, the back has 2 LEDs over here, and those LEDs are also your low battery indicator. Those will start blinking and are highly visible once the battery runs low. And as you can see, both arms have at the front a white, what should we call this? Well, a light emitting structure. I'm not sure. You tell me what's the correct word for this. A lens? Maybe. And at the back you see a red one. I'm sure in the video here with this white backdrop and studio lights, they don't show up very brightly, but they are sufficiently bright for night flying. And at the front you've got 2 blue/white eyes. I love it. It looks great, in my humble opinion, of course. Okay, so, and as you can see, the quadcopter frame comes with these landing legs, which are very flexible, which is a good thing. I can't see those breaking. Well, you can break anything of course, but those will have a lot of give to them, which is a good thing. And on this side here, the receiver antenna is worked into the landing leg, which is looks okay, I think. Okay. Like I said, this quadcopter in the RTF version comes with a CC3D flight controller. And if you're not familiar with the CC3D flight controller, it is not a full-fledged flight controller with GPS capabilities. It's a bit like a NACE 32 acro mode flight controller. No, that doesn't mean it has the same capabilities. It isn't as good or better. It's just comparable in features, I think. That also makes this not a toy grade quadcopter. The flight controller is hobby grade. The motors are hobby grade brushless motors, and in that sense you'll have to invest some time in learning how to set up the flight controller as well. Out of the box mine came ready to fly, but you can alter a myriad of things to a flight controller like this. For instance, the flight modes, you can set up at least three flight modes. You'll have to configure those. What kind of flight modes you want. Do you want it stabilized? Do you want it in rate mode? There are a lot of different flight modes you can configure for this quadcopter. Of course, you can configure the maximum bank angles. It's not like the toy grade mini quads that you have 3 flight modes and that's it. With this one you can set up any kind of flight mode to your liking, which is a good thing, I think. Okay, let me shut her down again. There we go. Okay, of course a RTF version also comes with a few other things. Let me put the quadcopter to the side for a minute. Mine also came with a battery charger, and it's actually a balance charger for 2 and 3S. It'll charge at 1.2 amps, which is reasonable really. Of course you'll be better off with your own hobby grade charger, but 1.2 amps is reasonable. And it comes with a power cord, of course, with a US plug, so that's no good for me, but it also came with a converter, which is very nice. The charger also came with a manual to tell you what the lights mean. And well, I think anyone can find their way in the use of a charger like this. Okay, and the quadcopter also came with a spare set of props and a little screwdriver to screw the landing gear on. And last but not least, it also came with this transmitter or radio. Let me see, how can I show it better to you? Hold on, I'll zoom into the radio a little. Okay, so the radio. It has an on-off switch, of course. It has a loop here to connect your neck strap to. And as you can see, mine is a Mode 2 transmitter. It has a few knobs here, here, and you can basically set those up to whatever you want them to do. Mine now has the flight mode on this switch. I have 2 flight modes set up at the moment. Actually, this radio also has no, not there in the sys menu. Model memory for about 15 models. So you can use this transmitter for other things, planes, helicopters. It is, of course, if you're used to a real hobby grade transmitter, it's not the most luxurious transmitter, but it will sure get you by. It has digital trims. These trim knobs are all digital, not analog. Stick. The ratchet of the throttle is sounds a bit cheap, but it works just fine. And the gimbal feel, well, it's pretty good actually. It is fully serviceable. Actually, when I got mine, I accidentally got the Mode 1 version and I've switched the 2 gimbals out. Not a job for every RC enthusiast, I think. but if you take your time you can do that. Alright, well, so much for the transmitter. And the last thing I want to point out to you is this, the OpenPilot Graphical Control Station, or GGS. I think it's a Graphical Control Station. With this you can configure all parameters of your quadcopter. Like I said, the flight modes, how it stabilizes, anything you want to change in the settings of your quadcopter, you'll need this OpenPilot GCS. Now, for this, for the HiSky quadcopter, you can't use the latest version. I'm not completely sure why, but you can't. You will need the 12.02.02 version. And I will put a link to that version in the description of this video so you can find it. Now there is a very good site for with all information about this flight controller, and I will also put a link to that in the description of this video. In the coming days I will also be showing you the maiden flight with this quadcopter, maybe some other flights. Well, if you're not subscribed yet, please do so you won't miss out on those videos, and hope to see you back in another video. Bye bye!